Hello everyone. Today let's discuss some of the issues with TA cloning and the troubleshooting tips. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing and share it with your friends. Before getting into the troubleshooting tips, let's see the basics of TA cloning. TA cloning is one of the most popular cloning methods used for cloning PCR products or the amplicons. This method makes use of terminal transferase activity of Taq polymerase, which adds adenosine triphosphate overhangs to the 3' end of the PCR product, which can then be cloned into a linearized vector having T overhangs, and the ligation can be done using a DNA ligase. So the TA cloning is basically for cloning PCR products by introducing a overhang to the PCR product and then cloning it to a linearized vector having T overhangs. For those who are interested in understanding the full details on TA cloning, I have another video on the TA cloning. I will leave the link in the description below. You can just check and get full details. Here we will be discussing mainly on the troubleshooting tips for TA cloning. So for TA cloning, you have done PCR product generation, vector ligation, transformation, plating with selection markers and all you did, but you did not get any colonies, or you got colonies with no desired product. So what could have gone wrong in your cloning experiment? So we will look into each step in the cloning procedure in detail. So first let's see the possible issues that can come up in the PCR product generation part. So for PCR product generation, make sure to add a final extension step at 72 degrees Celsius for 10 to 20 minutes. So this step will ensure that the Taq polymerase adds A overhang to the 3' end, and it is essential to have the A overhangs in the PCR product for cloning in the TA cloning system. The next option is to purify the PCR product. Because the ligase is very sensitive to salts, PCR product purification can help resolve this problem. After the purification, check the concentration in nanodrop of the PCR product and use appropriate molar concentration of the vector and the PCR product for ligation. So this is also very critical to use the correct molar concentration of the vector and insert ratio. PCR product purification by gel extraction will help to get rid of primers, dimer if any. So if any primer, dimer is there, the PCR product purification by gel extraction, you can cut out the specific product and that can be used for ligation. So this will get rid of all the primer, dimers and also the unused DNTPs and primers left out after the PCR reaction. If you are going ahead with the gel extraction, make sure to use TAE buffer for gel run and not the sodium borate, because sodium borate buffer can inhibit in DNA ligase in the subsequent steps. So it is preferred to use TAE buffer for gel extraction. So now you have the PCR product ready. This need to be ligated to the linearized vector. So once the PCR product is ready, this can be ligated to the linearized vector. Here one critical point to note is to ensure the appropriate use of vector and insert ratio. So you can calculate the molar ratio. There are different online sites which helps you calculate the volume requirement to get the perfect vector insert ratio. So I will leave some of the links in the description below, so you can check that out to calculate the required amount of vector and the insert required for ligation reaction. For ligation, make sure the ligase enzyme is placed in the ice cold condition and avoid multiple free thaw cycles, because ligase is very sensitive. The activity of the ligase can be lost by multiple freeze thaw cycles. So you can also aliquot and keep these enzymes and buffers. Maybe multiple aliquots can be kept and frozen, and each time you can take out one aliquot and use that for the ligation reaction. ATP in the ligation buffer can also degrade with multiple freeze-thaw cycles. So this point need to be checked. Ensure that it is not taken out multiple times. And the preferred incubation time for ligation is generally 1 hour at 22 degrees Celsius, or you can leave the ligation reaction overnight at 4 degrees Celsius. Let's see the transformation related issues. So for transformation, make sure to use the competent cells which are fresh and do not use which are very old. If you are going ahead with the heat shock method, make sure to use heat shock protocol recommended by the kit manufacturer, or use heat shock at 42 degrees Celsius for 30 to 45 seconds. You can also do a control plasmid transformation in parallel to verify the competent cells, efficiency of transformation using the competent cells which you are going to use. For transformation, typically 1 to 5 microliters of the ligation product and 50 to 100 microliter of the competent cells are used for transformation. After the heat shock and cold condition incubation, it's good to pre-culture the transformants for 1 hour without antibiotic before proceeding with the plating. So 1 hour with the 200 rpm without antibiotics is preferred before going ahead with the plating. For plating, make sure to use the recommended concentration and recommended antibiotic, and do not use plates which are old. Use fresh antibiotic plates for plating the transformants, and make sure to use the antibiotic or add the antibiotic once the media is cooled down. If adding antibiotic directly to the hot agar media can cause the antibiotic to degrade. For screening, blue-white screening or a colony PCR can be used for screening the transformants. If you follow all this, you will get good colonies with the insert. Happy cloning. If you have any questions, you can add it on the comment section for discussion. Thank you.